Hello and welcome to my kitchen. For today, I'm going to be baking peanut butter cookies. Did you know that peanut butter cookies have been around for about 100 years? The recipe was generated in the 1910s, became popular in the 1920s. However, it wasn't until the 1930s when the fork was used for that signature grid pattern that we know on peanut butter cookies today. However, I like to cheat a little bit and I use a potato masher. Still gives the same grid pattern, but it's a lot easier to stamp a cookie than having to go through and making sure you've got all of your tongs just right. And here are the ingredients that we will be using for today's recipe. We will need salt, peanut butter, unsalted butter, flour, an egg, brown sugar, white sugar, vanilla, baking powder, and baking soda. As always, before baking or cooking, I like to pull back my hair and wash my hands. First, you will need half a cup of butter, softened. If yours is like mine and just came out of the fridge, you can also melt it. Next, you need half a cup of brown sugar. And make sure to pack the sugar down. Now the butter is melted. As a side note, if you would prefer to use margarine instead of butter, you can do that. Next, you will want to add half a cup of white sugar. So the sugar should be half a cup of brown and then half a cup of white. Now add in your sugar. And stir. Next, you'll want to add in 1 egg. Next, add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Next, add in 3/4 a tablespoon of baking soda. And half a teaspoon of baking powder. Now, if you're like my husband and you like your salt, here's where you can add in 1/4 a teaspoon of salt, but that's optional. And now stir. And now time to measure out 1 cup of peanut butter. Okay, now add in your peanut butter. Now time to stir in the peanut butter. Last but not least is measuring out 1½ cups of flour. And I like to use a knife to remove the excess flour. And I'm using the flat edge of the knife. Okay, put in your 1 cup of flour. And go ahead and stir that. You'll find this will become very thick, so it's easier to split up when you put in the 1 cup and then put in the half a cup of flour later. Now for the half a cup of flour. Once you have all of the flour mixed into the batter, then you'll want to chill the mixture for at least 30 minutes. So, while we wait, did you hear the joke about the peanut butter? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You might spread it. For your cookie sheet, you can either line it with parchment paper, or if not that, then spray it with non-stick cooking spray. So I'm just taking a regular small teaspoon here. And what you're going to do is you want to make about 1-inch balls. So I've got it in my hand here, and I'm just going to roll the dough around in my hand like that. And after you've rolled out your cookie, go ahead and lay it down on the sheet. And if you think your cookie's a little too thick, you can go ahead and pick off a bit and then go back to rolling it. Once you have your cookies rolled out, next you want to press them. First I'll show you with the fork. So you'll press down one way, and then you'll want to slide your fork off, and then press down the other way, and then slide your fork off. So again, press, slide your fork, and then press, slide your fork. If you prefer to use the potato masher, all you do is press and press. Bake your cookies for about 10 minutes. Once the cookies come out of the oven, I have laid down foil with the shiny side down, and I've got my spatula ready. Before you move the cookies onto the foil, you will want to let them cool on the cookie sheet first, and you want to make sure the bottoms of the cookies have a nice golden brown to them. Once the cookies have cooled on the cookie sheet, then go ahead and transfer them to the foil. And then you can load the cookie sheet with the next set of cookies to be baked in the oven. So here's the cookie with the fork tongs. And here's a cookie with the potato masher. These cookies smell and taste delicious. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask and subscribe.